What's up, guys? Amethyst Hierophant here, and I'm in Cairo, Egypt right now at the Jazz Hotel Resort. I got in last night and got to go meet some of my soul family today, have dinner, my first Egyptian meal, which was phenomenal. Such deep remembrance, and just felt like I was in a timeless space. Anyway, I just wanted to hop on here, do a little video documentary about my experience, what I'm going through, walk around, show you guys the hotel area, and just let you know what's happening internally in me transformationally as I get to experience this. So yeah, thanks for being here and let's go on a walk. Making sure I have my room key so I can get back in. So very nice room. The space here is just incredibly beautiful. Feels incredibly sacred and divine. The landscaping is just well maintained, which makes it have that royal feel, which this whole experience is very much about that. You feel like a king when you're in Egypt because of the energies that are present here. And that's so important and such an integral part of this journey is that we are not less than, we are the divine. We are the self-sovereign here to experience life. All the programming, all the bullshit that's made you limit yourself or think that you're less than, none of that's true. You're a divine spark incarnate in a human body. We live in an in-between between the divine realms and the material, physical realm that we exist in. It's beautiful that we get to experience this, that we get to come down and be in a physical land, that we get to be here, incarnate in the flesh, getting to experience all that this world has for us. I'm just really excited to share my journey with all of you. And I'm so happy that I have so many people following me and energetically supporting me on this mission. My dream is to bring other people over here to Egypt. And I'm actually thinking my first group is going to be spring 2026. So keep your eyes peeled, watch my Facebook page, watch my YouTube channel, Amethyst Hierophant, because a lot more information is going to be coming out about that here soon. It's all just so exciting because it's happening, and I get to be the one here experiencing it while it happens. And you can too, you know? It feels like a dream being here. It feels like, how is it possible? How is it me? How do I get to experience this? But then I realize that it's true that when you put your will into something, into a dream, you can manifest it. There's nothing unreachable, nothing unattainable. It's just a matter of focus. And when you can laser dial that focus in, you can make anything happen here. You can literally bridge the gap between heaven and earth, and this can be paradise. I got to meet some really beautiful souls today. Um, the brother and son who are leading this journey that I'm on, Golden Light Journey, Syed and Yosef, are incredible people. The most beautiful, genuine souls that I think I've ever met. And it just makes me so blessed and grateful that I connected with them 3 years ago when I just had my spiritual awakening. And 3 years ago, with my connection to Thoth, I knew I would be coming to Egypt. I knew that this would be, that what I'm experiencing right now would actually happen. And I say a lot that it feels like a dream, and it does, but I'm lucid. And that's the important part. That life is a lot like a dream. It's like a collective dream. We are all dreaming this together. We're all co-creators in this reality field. And for me, it's just been so magical to watch the unfolding and the remembrance of my soul, of who I actually am. And, being here on this ground is sacred and it's holy. And it's because this is my homeland. I spent so many past lives here, and it's just becoming more and more evident the more seconds I spend here. And I'm just so grateful that I got to make this pilgrimage to honor who I am, to honor my heart, to honor my soul. while I was having dinner at my brother's house. I say brother because that's what we are, because we're soul family. And when you come on these kind of experiences and when you step into that lucid dream, you begin to realize that all of this is interconnected and that the people you meet, you likely knew from past lives. I'm actually pretty skilled at being able to pick up on that right when I meet a person. I can tap into that Akashic field and recognize where I know them from on a deeper soul level. And that's been really cool. And you have to know who to share it with because not everybody's ready to hear that yet. So if I'm in a grocery store and the person checking me out is from a past life, I don't just tell them that. You can't do that. It would freak them out. But for those who are ready, they know on a deep level that yes, we're all here and nothing is coincidence. As my brother Syed says, all is divine. And it's so true. This entire human experience is completely divine. I want to show you guys the moon. I just saw it a second ago, hiding behind those trees. Let me walk somewhere else so I can show you guys. So yeah, tomorrow I am headed to Saqqara. My first time being there. It's my first time being in Egypt, this incarnation. And it just feels so special. It feels so led, so sacred. The journey I'm on, Golden Light Journey, couldn't be a more fitting name because that's what it feels like. It feels like connecting back to the sun source inside of me. There's the moon. Let's see if you guys can see it right in front of my head on the top. I'm sure you guys know I'm very connected to the moon. Thoth, of course, being the moon god. And I like the tale of where he was playing. I can never remember the name of the Egyptian game, but an ancient Egyptian game that they used to play where Thoth was playing against the sun and won. And as part of his winnings, he received 1/72nd of the light of the sun, which was the moon. And I've always found that story so incredible because that's exactly what the moon does. It reflects the sunlight. And we get to see the cycles based on where the sun is. And it's beautiful how it ties into the calendar. I've always been interested that there are 13 lunar cycles within a year, but we only have 12 months. And I've gone really deep into, the base 60 Sumerian number system and what that has to do with the number 12. And it's also interesting in the way that the modern world has occultized the number 13. I mean, there's hotel rooms that don't even have a 13th floor because they're that superstitious about the number. To me, that just speaks to a fear, a lunar fear. And I'm not sure why. It's something I'm still discovering and unraveling. Don't mind me as I moon gaze. It just feels so divine. The air, the ground, all of it. And I'm just so blessed that I get to be here experiencing it. I can't wait to go inside of the King's Chamber. I'm sure everybody who's watching me and follows my story knows just how damned excited I am to lay in that sarcophagus and go through that experience. It's beyond words. I try to put words to it, but all of this is much, much more than just words can put down. But I'm trying, I don't write yet. I do know that I end up with a couple of books at the end of my life that I've written, but I haven't begun that process yet. But doing these video documentaries is very helpful. That way I can go back and see just exactly what was happening in my journey as it was unfolding. No chemtrails here either, which is pretty wild. I noticed that when I was down in Florida. We have a lot of those strange clouds where I live at, and on the eastern shore, like Delaware, Maryland area. But I am not seeing any weird clouds here in Egypt. But I mean, look at this hotel. Just look. It's incredible. It's incredible that I get to be here right now talking to you guys. And here I am. I just had a wonderful Egyptian meal. I got to meet long lost brothers from many lives ago. I'm here with a group of women that, again, we're all connected. And it's no coincidence that we're all here together. Earlier today when we were driving over to my brother's house, I got to see the tip of the pyramid. And it stirred something so deep in my soul that I was on the verge of, I don't know, laughing, crying, screaming, but I held it all and I embraced that feeling, that remembering. I'm just thankful. I'm thankful that I awoke to the fact that I'm a spirit in a human body 3 years ago. That I'm not just a number, that I'm not just a name, but I'm a soul. And this journey of remembering myself, it's incredible. So on 8/8 Lionsgate Portal, I'm going to be positioned between the two paws of the Sphinx at sunrise. On Lionsgate Portal, that is. Sometimes I think this is beyond a dream. It's even better than I could have imagined. Everything, I mentally see like visions and have snippets and try to plan a lot. You guys saw my pictures in Rome. Like, I fit a lot into a day trip. I do a lot of planning about stuff, but then there's this aspect where when it comes together, it's even beyond that. It's even greater and grander and more grandiose than anything that my little mind could even try to imagine. Because when you're there experiencing it, something happens. Something deep, man. Deep in your soul. It's like fire. A fire lights up. And I feel that fire so much right now. I feel the fire burning in myself, and I just want to share it. And I'm sure you all see that in everything that I've been sharing about my journey, is that I'm finally living. So much tells us about death, and in Christianity, it's not about this life, which I don't understand. Why? I do understand. They want you to focus on the fact that you're going to die, but not in a way that will make you live today, in a way where you're more worried about how your actions will affect a next destination. And when I woke to the fact that I'm here now, I'm in this reality now, why should I be focused on what's to come? Shouldn't I make the most of this experience? And I found that is the secret sauce to life, is that you're here, you're in this moment, you're in this incarnation, you're in this body. Wherever you are in the world, that's where you're supposed to be right now. And when you can accept that and see the beauty within every space that you exist, that's powerful medicine. For me, I had to use the psychedelic experiences to awaken all of that, but it was so much deeper. It's so much bigger than just a trip. It's about remembering. It's about seeing the truth. And the truth is that you're not bound. You're not limited. You're not your job. For so long, I defined myself as what I did. I was in college, I was a student, I was a husband, I was a But that's not me. Those are just labels. And we get so mixed up in believing that the labels are who we are that we're not living. We're in a death state. I believe there's a reason Christianity worships the cross. They're worshiping death. And I believe that life is for the living, and that those of us who have awakened to the true nature of reality are alive in a world of sleepers. You know, Jesus, I, I don't condone everything about Christianity because it's a lot of fear tactics. And again, it's a lot about focusing on what's to come instead of focusing and being in the present moment. But I do honor and have a reverence and deep respect for all the messages Jesus told. And once you begin to embody the teachings of Christ, yeah, you're on the right path then. Once you begin to have eyes to see and ears to hear what he was actually saying, you know, Jesus spoke to many crowds. He spoke to the general public, but then he spoke to his followers, and he would use parables a lot of the time. And that was so that those with the eyes and those with the ears to hear would understand the message being conveyed. It wasn't a message that everybody could understand or take in. So it had to be hidden in metaphor, and you know, we lock a lot of our truth in myth in today's world and in the ancient worlds. Being over in Rome the other day and thinking about their mythology system and even Egypt's with the gods, it's speaking to higher truths. It's speaking to bigger things than just what it looks like. So yeah, I'm grateful. I don't know what kind of fruit's on these trees, but there's something. I don't know if you guys can see it behind me. Like a little green ball type fruit. Yeah, guys, so thank you for being here with me. You know, thank you for witnessing my journey. Thank you for listening to me. Thanks for walking with me. Not just here at this hotel, but through life, through this experience that we're in together. I'm so grateful. Yeah. Namaste. Peace, love, blessings to all of you. You are all divine. I just wanted to add one more part about what I was saying earlier. As I was just rewatching the video, I lost my train of thought at one point when I was talking about sleepers as people who are dead, as people who are part of that, you know, death cult, I guess you could call it. When Jesus awoke Lazarus from the dead, he awoke his friend from his sleep. Lazarus and Jesus were friends. Lazarus was caught up in the identity of who he thought he was in the world, who the world told him he was, and not who his soul was. And what Jesus did for his friend was helped him remember the truth that he wasn't just a guy named Lazarus, but that he was a divine being. And the story of his resurrection is about him remembering the truth. That's when we go from death to life, is when we remember. It's not crazy as people think to have a spiritual awakening. It's pretty simple. You remember that you're a spirit, and that's it. You can add a lot of words and make it fluffy and make it complex, but it's just knowing that no, I'm not just a human, and this isn't my first go on planet Earth, that I'm a soul who's reincarnated here countless number of times. So when you hear me talk about people who are dead or who are asleep, I'm talking about people who haven't yet woken up and realized that they're a spirit in a human body. You know, I believe Jesus went through the initiatory process that I'm about to go through. Hell, I believe he was in the Great Pyramid. Don't ask me how. I don't know how it happened. If we discovered the entrances, in the 1900s. But I believe there's a lot that we have a hard time explaining. And I believe that there's a reason I'm here, a deep, deep reason. I've always followed the stories of Moses very closely. They're close to my heart. And I just find it so interesting that these really important people in history all have a connection to Egypt. I don't think that's by accident. I think that's because Zep Tepi, because the first calls, because now, because time. And I believe Egypt has a lot to do with what that means. And I believe that the pyramids are part of that, are part of this soul machine. You know, I hear a lot of theories about what the Great Pyramid could have been used for. And I personally, I entertain all of the ideas because it's an enigma. It's called the mystery school for a reason because it's mysterious. We don't know. And there's beauty in not knowing. There's beauty in not being able to figure it out, but trying so hard to get the answers. It just shows our human spirit and wanting to understand this mystery, which is life. So I love all the different theories, thinking that it was a power plant because I believe it was too, thinking that it was a water pump because yeah, that makes sense if you look at it engineering wise, that it was a chemical reactor space because you can look at some of the walls and like in the King's Chamber, I'm gonna see, in a couple days, there's like some melting. You can see that it had a lot of purposes. But for me personally, I feel like its most important aspect is a spiritual ascension chamber. And I get to go through that because I woke up, because I understood who I am, where I am, and what I am. I am. And that's it. I don't need to put anything after. I am. And in my I amness, there's this longing for others to know who they are. You can't, there's no way to awaken another, but you can definitely, definitely plant seeds. And the Bible talks about the sower, the good sower who it's not his job where the seeds land, it's just his job to throw them. And that's what I'm doing here. That's what this channel is. I'm just throwing seeds. And there's going to be a lot of ground that the seeds aren't going to take root on, and that's okay. I can't expect them to. That's not my job. My job as a sower isn't to go about and make sure each seed is where it needs to be. I just have to gleefully and happily go about my life just throwing seeds everywhere. The seeds are light, and the message is love and unity and authenticity. They say authenticity is the highest vibration, even higher than love. And that's kind of strange to think about, but it makes sense because unconditional love comes from authenticity. It comes from being true, being raw, being self, unabashed, just who you are, speaking from your heart. You know, I got my chakras on my shirt. I got this shirt at the last Karma Fest. I finally bought some hippie clothes because, you know, I've been attending that festival for 3 years and volunteering, and I hadn't bought any official hippie clothes, but this was my first piece, and I love it. It's from Nepal. There's a fly that keeps trying to get me. But yeah, guys, I have so much to share, and I'm just getting started. And this channel is going to be filled soon with just videos like this one where it's just me being candid and sharing my truth, my perspective, because we're all here experiencing this life through many different facets, many different perspectives. But at the core of it all, the same spark of life that's in you is the same spark of life that's in me. And that's why I always say namaste. And if anybody follows my Facebook, I always use this little like heart and then prayer hands and then heart. And I do that because it's all together and it's all bound in love. We're all here because of love. This entire reality field exists because of the vibration and frequency and force of love. So I love you guys. I love myself. And I love this journey I'm on. And I'm just eternally grateful. So many blessings to all of you who are watching this. Namaste and peace. So I gotta share this because it just happened and it amazed me because the universe just keeps freaking doing this where it's confirming to me that I'm on the path that I need to be on. So a guy just walked up to me, saw that I was recording, and asked me if I was an influential YouTuber. To which I responded, yeah, I'm just starting. The signs couldn't be any more clear that I'm doing what I need to be doing. And if you're watching this, that you need to be watching this and you need to be hearing whatever I'm saying. Sometimes it just feels like I'm ranting, but I know that I'm channeling something much higher and I'm speaking to an individual who needs to hear the message that I'm relaying to you. I'm just a messenger, just a sower, just throwing my seeds. But there are some of you out there who are the soil that is perfect for this seed to land on. And it's going to blossom into something so beautiful, so much more magnificent than you could even imagine. Me being here right now in Egypt is because other people toss seeds my way. Because truth, because I've been a truth seeker, and because people have fed into my spiritual journey. And this is just off of that. You know, I've been watching YouTubers, I've been following a lot of people for the last 3 years, and I've known that I needed to begin, but I was kind of just being the observer before the speaker. And I'm so thankful that I did that because I'm able to speak in a different manner. I'm able to speak based on what other people have been feeding into me. And I meet so many awesome people now. My life is just, it's insane. Just the way that people will message me and hey, are you doing an Egypt tour? No, not yet, but I'm planning on doing them. And it's like, yeah, that's how it's supposed to be. Yeah, I'm in my truth. I'm on my mission. I'm in my purpose. I'm doing my thing. And my thing is just being here. And part of that being here is doing these videos. So yeah, it's just wild how the universe will confirm to you what you already know. You'll get these external validations for the internal path that you're on. And if you're paying attention, the universe is always confirming your mindset. It's confirming where you are. It's a reflection. And the reflection that I get now that I'm in my authenticity, and now that I'm speaking, now that I'm not ashamed or afraid of what anybody would think about what I have to say, I'm free. I got my wings back and I'm just flying. So I encourage you, pay attention to your external reality, pay attention to what it's validating and confirming back to you, and decide if that's the path you want to be on. Because, for a long time I lived in a way that was unharmonious with my soul. For the past 3 years, even after having my awakening, I stayed in a job that wasn't serving me and I knew it wasn't. And I just kept spinning there. I just kept trying to make it work based on the programming, based on the fact that, you have to have a job, and you do have to have a job. But once you find your soul's mission, that becomes your job. You marry your purpose. And I'm so thankful that I have a partner who supports me in being able to be married to my soul purpose, in being able to live the way I do and travel the way I do. And it's crazy because I actually have a job offer that I'll be hearing about when I get back to the States, about a real job, not in the spiritual vein. It's an event job where I'll just be traveling around helping with the registration of different events. And that's going to be so incredible. It's going to put me in all the right places at all the right times to meet the people I need to meet, that I'm going to be able to take and bring over here to Egypt, take down to Bimini to swim with the dolphins, take down to Mexico to see the pyramids there with my friends Sean and Yessa. It's all happening as it's supposed to. And it's because I'm just walking faithfully and true and living by my heart. So yeah, guys, thank you for being here. Thanks for getting to see me go through this incredible apotheosis. And I will have so many pictures and videos to share with you about my experience in Egypt. But so far, I haven't even been to a single sacred site yet. It's divine, it's magic, and it's right where I'm supposed to be. It's a homecoming, a reunion for my soul to the land, and I'm blessed. All right, well, I think I'm gonna go hop in this pool because it looks pretty amazing. Actually, I'll walk you over there so you guys can see this amazing looking pool because it's incredible. And it's just part of this dream that I'm living, that I'm dreaming, awake within. The attention they give to the landscaping here it's miraculous. I've loved walking in gardens and getting to experience the human cultivated side of nature, that we can intentionally build gardens, that we can intentionally plant, like I was talking about throwing seeds, that we can intentionally plant and make beautiful things occur here in this physical reality. There's so much trash and bad things that fill up this earth that we're inhabiting. But it can be so much more. It can be beautiful too. It can have flowers. It can have gardens. And I feel like ancient civilizations understood that in a way that we don't honor or respect in today's world. Going through downtown Cairo, like, I wasn't surprised, but some parts are impoverished and there's trash everywhere. And then I get to be here where everything is so carefully and meticulously planted and detailed in this beautiful landscaping. And it just makes me wonder, like, why aren't we doing that as a humanity? Why aren't we doing that for the earth? Why aren't we making this heaven? Like I was talking about earlier, the Christianity thing. It sells you. It's a sales pitch, and it's selling you on heaven. And a lot of people buy into it, and a lot of people give their hard-earned money to that establishment that sells you the idea of, you know, follow these rules, do this, do that, and then maybe you'll get to be in eternal paradise if you've accepted Jesus, which, even if you've never heard of Jesus, because there are people in the world who have never heard of him, you can still accept what he is and the message and that I am embodiment that he offers to us. Look at this fountain. Like, what? Just beautiful. So much beauty. Even in the chaos and the mess of it all, there's beauty because you know that you can transform it. You can make it something beautiful. You can create heaven on earth. Very much so. Very real. So here's the pool, guys. Look at it. It's even got this little bridge right behind me. You can swim under, which I'm going to swim under in just a few minutes. So if the external world is a reflection of our internal state, I mean, honestly, that means there's still junk in me that I need to clean up because of all the trash and stuff I saw in the city today. Again, if the external reality is a reflection of me, it means I still have work to do, and we all do. You know, we're not perfect yet. We're in the process of sanctification, and I do believe that that is part of why we step down in density and we get to be in this physical realm, because we're refining ourselves and making ourselves better, and we're learning how to clean up the mess, how to make something beautiful out of something ugly. My life has been a testament of that. You see the moon right over here above my finger? It is gorgeous, so clear, and just speaking to me. It's a waxing moon. Maybe 5 more days it'll be full. So yeah, I'm in the in-between of who I was and who I'm becoming, who I'm remembering that I've always been before the chaos and the confusion set in, before the separation occurred, and just the interconnectedness to everything, to everyone, every animal, every insect, every ant, every mosquito. It's all connected, and we're all here to experience exactly what we're supposed to experience. Everybody has different lessons they're learning, but it's just about taking the darkness, transforming it into light. And I'm a testament to that. You guys have no idea some of my past, and that's okay. You know, it doesn't need to be even spoken about because it's not who I was. Just distortions, distortions to my sovereignty, just negative programming. But now that I'm writing the story of my life, it doesn't have to be like that. I don't have to be an angry person. As a matter of fact, I get to be the happiest person in the world every day, just because I wake up and get to be here and experience this beautiful reality that we're all co-creating. This is our dream, so let's make the most of it. Show you guys the moon one more time if I can. Yep, right over there. And with that, I'm out, guys. I'm gonna go hop in this pool and connect with the water and just be. Peace and love.